Christ, it's cold. So, should have been at Berlin Airport this weekend having a look around, but of course things transpired, couldn't go in the end because of current circumstances. So I found this. The Jumbostay at Stockholm Arlanda Airport, a converted 747, 40 odd years old. It can trace its ancestry all the way back to the 70s. It's operated with a number of airlines, and I think it retired operating for a Scandinavian airline, but we'll check that. So let's go and have a look around.
The 747-200 is stabled right next to Stockholm Arlanda Airport, with picnic tables on the wings. One of the things you notice about this aircraft is that nothing is left to waste. Even the engine pods are bedrooms. And unlike most 747s to civilians, nothing is off limits. I was able to do my very own walk-around inspection. And as always, it's a huge thanks to my superhero Patreon supporters, without whom I couldn't bring you all of these videos. All rooms start with a 7. Unfortunately, I couldn't get room 747 this evening, which is the cockpit room. Somebody beat me to it. And I'll bet my good friend Joshua Bedell, also like me, loves a good gratuitous 747 landing gear shot. Once on board, the aisle of this 747 features pictures of the aircraft being converted to a hostel. I'm in a single ensuite room this evening. It's basic and not overly aviation themed, but it's still a thrill sleeping on a 747 for this avgeek. But with just 3 guests on board this evening, there are plenty of rooms for my fellow friends. So James Wake, where are you?
So, the Jumbostay, a converted 747-200 that has seen service with Singapore Airlines and a few other airlines over the years actually, and has ended up here at Stockholm's Arlanda Airport and home for the night for me. Just 3 guests tonight, not surprising given the current circumstances.
I spend an hour in the nose bar. I have to say, it's really nice, but because of current circumstances, there's nobody else here, so I'm on my own. It's a pity that my good friend Joe Ainley isn't here to share a drink and chat about the fairly illustrious history that this aircraft has had. Hi folks, so just back from Jumbostay, and what did I think? Well, if like me, you're a total aviation enthusiast, it's definitely worth seeing, but what you do need to be aware of is that Jumbostay is all about being a hostel, so it's basic accommodation in the shell of a 747. So whilst I found it interesting, and I'm glad to sort of say I've been and seen it and stayed there, I think I could have made so much more of it, and I think I would. If I owned Jumbostay, what I would do is I would have bought a whole load of first class 747 or other wide body flatbed seats and installed it in some of those rooms. Pump in some ambient aviation noise, typical that you would hear if you were crossing the Atlantic at night. And then for the catering, what I would have done is served up a first class meal similar to what you would get in flight itself. So I think, one of the things that was missing is And do bear in mind, Jumbostay is marketed as a hostel as opposed to a hotel or a full in-flight experience. Is just that. The rooms just, to me, were just fairly basic accommodation, typical that you would see in any hostel. And I think they could have made so much more of that, and they still could, because now must be the right time to do something like this. There must be a glut of first class seats from all of the retired 747s around the world available right now. So I would make more of that to sell a real in-flight experience, because let's face it, the 747 is becoming rarer and rarer, and so I think that in itself would drive more people to places like Jumbostay. So overall, I would say if you're thinking of going to see it, then you definitely should see it. But do bear in mind, it is marketed as a hostel. It's not hostel prices. I think I paid about the equivalent of about €130 a night when I could have stayed at the 4-star Radisson across the road. But, you know, it's Sweden, and perhaps that's what you need to bear in mind. But overall, yeah, glad I saw it, but I think they could make more of it. They could make more of the whole 747 first class experience. So there you go. See you on the next video. Bye for now.